All right, now we're going to move on to the cheek area. I'm going to just pop a little bit of color onto the cheek. And again, as you can see, I'm always kind of warming up, pressing my brushes in to make sure, seeing how it's going to glide onto the face. Now again, we have our highlighter and our contour. Where's the blush going to go, right? So have them smile, give me like a soft smile. And on more mature skin, we just want to pop it onto the pillow of the cheek. Because again, we're trying to give that healthy glow and the symmetry back to the skin. Not too far down to start pulling the gel down, not too high up to start going on the highlighting. So you have to be able to find that marriage of the highlight, the contour, popping the cheek color on. And again, keeping color on one side of the brush and the other side of the brush clean to go through and dissolve any mistakes. And you can see the healthy glow start to come back. It's like a flush of color to the skin. And you can see once again, my hand and my brush are working together to pop color to the skin. Not about striping or pageantry work. Look at me. All right, now I'm going to go back and play with the eyes. I'm one of those artists, I kind of like to jump around and play whenever it comes to color, because something will pop at me and I'll want to go ahead and brush some color to it just to see the warmth and the strength start to come back into the face. I'm going to go back to my bagel toast color with a really small angle fluff brush and look up for me. Smooth out any wrinkles underneath the eyes, always first. And I'm going to go through and just make like a really slight smokiness underneath the eye. This is just kind of like artwork 101 whenever you're framing the face. You always want to make sure you give just a little bit of color underneath the eye area like that. What it's going to do is it's like having a great Picasso but only doing half of a frame. You don't just want to do it on top, you want to pull it up underneath. I think you can see this eye better. Pull it up underneath here. That way she's got a really great Picasso, which is her eye color, and then all the way around it is a really good frame. And this again are little tidbits that will help the eye start to pop a little bit more. Alright, now I'm going to finish out the eye. I'm going to add just a little bit more strength in the contour, just on the outskirts of the eye. This is really, really daytimey, and let's say you want to go into a little bit more of a nighttime. You really just want to have the concentration right here on the outer skirts. If you build it up and much in through here where that orbital bone is, you'll start to pull the eye down. So I'm just going in with a little bit deeper from that bagel color we've been using, to a very light chocolate brown, milk chocolate I guess you'd call it, just to give her a little bit more strength. That's all it takes, is just a little bit. Again, it's not about busting out with a lot of color on somebody with more mature skin. It's about building more strength to go into a nighttime look. And you can see once again I'm using that blender brush. I just love blender brushes because they go on just automatically blending. And since that's what people have the hardest time with, I just wish everybody just used blender brushes constantly. Okay, open them. Okay. All right, now the main thing that we're going to work on now is adding strength into her lips. Again, I cannot tell you enough how much it's stay away from iridescent frosty shadows, any type of makeup that makes the skin look overly dewy. Another great thing for more mature skin is to use cream foundations and then lightly press, like a pressed powder into it, because it adds suppleness and refreshment to the skin, because typically we get older, it starts to sag, get crepey, and dry out. So anything that we can do on the opposite to help promote healthiness, like I was saying, even the pop of color just on the ball of that cheekbone helps to get that revitalized, outdoorsy, fresh type of look. It's about building strength. Remember, in the eyes, good highlighting and contouring, good concealer work. Again, a nice blush application, and then building strength into the lips. So I'm going to do a little bit more powerful of a lip because she's got such neutrals on, and then we'll do the mascara. I like everything to kind of sit into the skin and dry a little bit before I go do mascara. And again, if you remember, I've done foundation over these lips and concealer. And not only in the beginning, I even did that primer. I always warm it up. Kind of see how it's working in the beginning, and if nothing's coming out, always warm it up on the back of your hand. Starting on that bottom lip is really easy. The main thing about working with a really creamy liner is make sure you keep it sharp. If it starts to get dull, the makeup will look dull. And again, we want to build strength, but not any type of Lucille Ball type of overly drawn lips is very unattractive. And I'm one of those that just try to get that lip liner onto the face. And then we'll go through and clean it up and balance everything with a lip brush. I think lip liners are great for more mature skin, again, because it gives you some definition and you're able to kind of go back and build in a lip. Because a lot of the times they've lost that lip color and those exact dimensions that we're looking for in an application. So if you really blanket them out and then go back in and fill in the lip, it gives a lot more power and strength to this quadrant of the face. All right, now for the final touches of the lips. Remember, I just went on and built in some strength into the lip area. This is like the lip quadrant. I'm going to go back over that with a clean brush. Has absolutely nothing on it, and just smooth it out. Smooth out any hard lines. This is where a really great makeup application is set apart from an okay application. It's a lot of attention to detail. So anytime you put a liner to the face, you want to make sure you go over it with a clean brush and dissipate it out and make sure it's really clean. Now again, I've taken my lipstick, it's called Chic, onto my spatula, again, keeping everything clean. I'm just going to go right over that lip liner. My favorite for a more mature skin is a cream formulation lipstick. It's got a really nice staying power, but it has a lot of emolliency so you don't dry out. Again, that's the last thing we need to be doing is drying something else out. What is not a good look here is anything that's glossy.